quite an interesting journey from where I sit. It seems like, makeup at 16 and then photography, these are both kind of what a lot of people consider glamorous careers. Are they glamorous?
Not always. I will be honest with you. They can be very, very challenging at times, and it takes a lot of perseverance to work your way through some of the challenges that come along with being an artist in general.
Canvas is not like just picking up any canvas. If you're picking up the canvas happens to be someone's face, I guess that does make it a little more complicated.
Absolutely. And it's an honor and a privilege to be able to work on so many faces. And it's also challenging, too, because you encounter a lot of different structures, a lot of different conditions, a lot of different things that really keep you on your toes a lot of the time. Right.
So I'm going to start back at so you're 16 years old and you're just like a lot of 16-year-old girls playing with makeup, or did you really have at that point an intense desire, I want to do this for a living. I want to, like, did you feel that kind of passion about doing it at that point at 16?
I did, and it all started, honestly, at a very, very young age. I remember being 3 years old, and my dad built me a vanity table, and I thought it was just the most amazing thing in the entire world, and I started to sneak into my mom's makeup all the time, like so many young girls do, and it was my aunt who actually gave me my first little tube of pink lipstick when I was 9 years old. And that was what I was allowed to play with. I wasn't allowed to play with anything else yet at that point. But my mother was very gracious in helping me to learn the proper way to put makeup on. Instead of hiding it from me or, forbidding me to wear it, she gave me the tools I needed to use it properly. And I think that kind of fostered my love of makeup in general. And I started watching a lot of talk shows that had makeover days on them and, became obsessed with learning how to brush up eyebrows and whatever else was, the trend back in the 80s.
Right.
And then at 16, I got into modeling. And I really had a passion for being on the other side of the camera. I didn't enjoy modeling so much. And that's when I really started to realize that I wanted to do something with this. I wanted to be the one creating the beauty and the one taking the pictures. So I left the modeling industry when I was scouted to go to Japan, actually, when I was 17. I turned down that opportunity and decided to just pursue photography as a hobby. And
wow.
It's just been a passion of mine ever since. Also wanting to do it in a way that was helping young girls and women to feel good about themselves without having to feel the need to go through a lifestyle like that in order to feel good about who they are.
Yeah, I think that's something that I really, feel called to ask you to expand on, because we have a lot of messages in our media for women of all ages. Young girls in particular are very vulnerable to them, but I find that even, women in their 50s and 60s, it's like if you want to continue to thrive and have a career, we have to do all these, plastic surgeries and altering our bodies, dieting and all that kind of stuff. Do you find that the industry itself right now is still pushing for that kind of I'm going to call it unnatural kind of beauty that is kind of distorted? Or do you think there's starting to be a bit of an awareness that's really not healthy for us?
I think there's both ends of the spectrum happening. I do see a lot of pressure in women today and even young girls to meet a certain standard of beauty that isn't realistic at all. And even as a woman my age, we still feel that pressure. I think it's just ingrained in us that we need to feel that we look a certain way, and none of us want to age, We just don't want to get older and deal with all of the things that come along with that physically. But I also find that there is a greater awareness of the negative aspects of altering your body, especially in a chemical way or surgeries and things like that. And more women are turning to products deemed natural or organic to try and just maintain their health and their beauty in a natural way as opposed to resorting to, more drastic measures. So I think it kind of goes both ways. We have friends that are saying that they can't wear makeup anymore because they're having skin sensitivities and allergies and reactions, and it seems that over the years that's gotten more and more prevalent. And the companies aren't listing their ingredients, and I think part of the reason for that is because there are a lot of irritants in the cosmetics that we use. And I'm a makeup artist, so I use a lot of different product all the time, and I'm definitely not going to speak out against any company out there because it's not my place to do that. But I've gotten very careful personally about what I use, and I think education is extremely important. And I think you're right. We haven't really pushed for that. I think as women, we want it to make us look good, and if what makes us look good, we don't care what's in it. We've actually blinded ourselves a little bit to that, which is kind of scary too, because there's just such a need and such a demand within us to look a certain way that we don't want to know what's in the product. I think ignorance is bliss sometimes.
Well, yeah, and sometimes we justify it by saying, well, I'll only have it on for a short period of time, so, and then I take it off at night, and so it's not really that bad. But I think that there's a movement, a strong movement, for realizing that we want to be healthy. It's not enough to live longer. Like, I don't want to live to 150 just so I can look like, an old bag. Thank you very much. I mean, that's not my, if I'm going to stick around, I want to be having fun and I want to love what I see when I look in the mirror. And that, I'm not against, the concept of, natural aging or saying there's anything wrong with wrinkles or anything. My personal belief is I don't think we have to do it that way. I think we can regenerate and rejuvenate. But I do think we have to do we have to make choices about what we put on our skin that is, like you say, not chemicals, not going to do that. And I know when you're working in an industry like that, and I'm not trying to get you to say anything bad about any industry, and it's not about judgment. I'm just thinking we're evolving, and we want something better now. And,
yes, absolutely.
So what is your so you have a family, you have your photography, you have this makeup that you're helping to share with women. What's your passion now? What's really driving you and makes you want to get up in the morning?
I think it's, first of all, my family, my husband and my kids. They're really my driving force. They're so supportive, and I have goals for my family, so I think it's been a challenging journey, but it's definitely been worth every minute of all the hard work that's gone in. And I'm the first person to tell anyone, follow your dreams. Absolutely. It's never too late. I'm 40 years old now, and I'm just starting to, really live my dreams. So just
I am
go for
so grateful for you sharing that, because that's exactly what people need to hear, is to really get that. Like, the difference between, doing something because you have to and doing something because you love to. And then you never work. And it's true. It's, you're,
true.
Oh man, I am so thrilled that you shared that. And the other part that, you made it just such an excellent and important point is that sometimes when you have a dream that's that big and that you really know is inside of you and has to come out, be careful who you share it with, because sometimes those naysayers, they will really bring you down and prevent you from living your best dream. And it's not because they're mean, it's because they can't imagine it themselves. And I think that's where we have, like I remember being told one time, just treasure it in your heart until you know you are ready to, it's so secure in you that nobody can shake it. So yeah. I appreciate you sharing that, because I think it's important for people to realize that just because you have a beautiful dream doesn't mean the whole world's going to support you in doing it.
No, that's true. And you have to come to a point where you're okay with that, where you can go, I'm okay with the fact that you don't think it's the best choice, and I'm okay with the fact that you maybe don't even think I can do it. But you know what? this is what I feel I was put here to do, and I'm passionate about it, and I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. And hopefully you're there on the journey with me. If not, then just watch me go.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think that there's times, sometimes because we're so enthusiastic and excited, we want to tell everyone, but sometimes, especially sometimes, the people closest to us, because they're trying to protect us, they think.
Yeah.
So they're saying, baby, don't do that, and it's like, well, I have to. And sometimes you find that people who are not in your close circle are the ones who are actually going to be more supportive. And it makes sense because they have less to lose.
Yes.
And it's just human nature. But I love that you share that, because it really does speak to that whole point of follow your dream, and you'll always, you'll be happy. You'll have bumps. It's not that your work's not hard, but it's that you'll be happy.
I also, and this is my official announcement because no one knows about this yet other than a handful of people, am in the process of launching my own line of body care products, which will be sold exclusively through my studio. So I'm really, really excited about that. They're 100% natural body care products, created by me, manufactured in Canada, and as soon as my website is up and running, that will be out as well.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. And what's the name of it?
LiLu Body Beauty Products by Vanessa Pressacco Studios, inspired by my daughters Lily and Lulu.
Oh, wow. That is very exciting. I'm absolutely honored that you decided to make the official announcement here. Woohoo!
I thought it was the perfect time and place to do it.
Oh, and it is, and I'm all about natural stuff, so that is fantastic. We'll have to get you back on the show to talk about as it unfolds, and we'll talk about how it's going for you and whatever else is happening at the time.
I would love that.
Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate your being real with me and with our listeners and giving women especially. I'm not saying that men aren't interested in these kinds of things, but for the most part, it's women that are being marketed to in this very strong way. And I like to bring people forward that can help share that, we're all perfect. We're all perfect. And if we can do things that make us feel better and enhance our looks with makeup and things like that, then more power to us. But it's so nice to be able to know there's people to turn to that can help us. And Vanessa, you've really helped tonight, I think.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you having me here, and it's been a pleasure and an honor to share what I love most with you.
That's fantastic. We are creating an exquisite world, and that's my sense, and that we're doing it one person at a time, one listener, one guest, people that are doing inspiring things and sharing it with us and empowering us all. That's what the shows are all about. So I really appreciate you sharing, and I also appreciate the sponsors and advertisers that are doing so through the show. We are growing